Hello everybody, Foxy Games here. When we last left off, we had uncovered the moogles here in Javania, and they've decided that in order to earn their trust, we need to do some things for them. So let's go right ahead and find out what those things are. Hello! Yes, I am Moghan, the foremost alchemist in Mogholm, if you must know. If your tummy's gloopy or your wings are droopy, I have a potion to fix that. Or I would if I didn't keep running out of ingredients. Luckily, you're here to do my trial. Yes, go forth, mighty adventurer, and mightily pluck 3 sprigs of cloud's breath for me. You'll find it blooming near the entrance to Isle Tome. It's not the safest of places, so don't let yourself be too distracted by the pretty flowers, Kupo. Okay, that sounds simple enough. How about Mog Monk over here? So exceedingly fluffy. Aw, she loves them. Yes, you have the pleasure of speaking with Mog Monk. I know, I am the fluffiest, most enchanting creature you've ever laid eyes upon, Kupo. It isn't easy being this adorable. I can barely take a stroll outside without those relentless Javanians throwing themselves at me, or they look as if they might just gobble me right up. That's probably because it's what they want to do. In any case, fleeing their overbearing adulation is growing a bit tiresome. Your trial, madam, is this. Find these ardent archaeosaurs and slap some manners into them, Kupo. Perhaps a firm smack on the snout will teach them to appreciate my charm from afar. Jesus Christ. So full of himself. How exciting to have relatives in the clouds, Kupo! Conning Senna? Just as their cousins in the Twelves would, these Mogholm moogles excel in the manipulation of ether. There are few who could detect them if they chose not to be detected. How about you guys? I owe the Elder Seedseer my life. My duty to protect her surpasses all other concerns. Warrior of Light. We have not spoken since the trouble with good King Mogomog, and I would proffer my apologies. Had I not been bound to my duty to protect the Elder Seedseer, I would have stood with you against your accusers in Ul'dah. Well, better late than never, I suppose. Mogwin's the name, and art is my game. When it comes to painting, there are none in Mogholm who can match my talent with a brush, Kupo. I know why you've come. Chieftain Mogwin has demanded that I test your trustworthiness. But as I trust no one to create art that will satisfy me, I instead charge you with retrieving a masterpiece I seem to have misplaced. It was an ambitious and innovative work, guaranteed to fetch at least 4 Kupo nuts on the open market. You must find it. Question the masses. Surely a pebble painted with such vibrant color and unmistakable panache cannot have escaped the notice of every moogle in Mogholm. Oh, jeez. Are we really looking for a painting? What are they having you do, Alphino? I did not expect our travels to bring us to a Moogle village. I wonder if a similar settlement exists somewhere within the Twelves Wood. Mogwin is missing his masterpiece, Kupo? Oh, you mean that paint-smeared mess of a pebble? I've not seen it recently, a fact for which my eyes are profoundly grateful. Well, he hasn't seen it. Oh. I have one of the most important and difficult jobs in Mogholm. Watering the flowers, Kupo. You can't put too much and you can't put too little. Truly, it is an art form. How about you? Maestro Mogwin has misplaced his masterpiece, Kupo? Oh, happy day! If I am the swifter in finding it, I will soon have a genuine Mogwin for the price of a little perspiration. Honestly, who has 4 Kupo nuts just lying about to spend on such luxuries? Are they really so rare that you don't even have 4 of them? What about this dude? I don't know much about his stone, but I know Mogwin's been creeping out the back the back way to Somal's summit from time to time, Kupo. Maybe he left it up there. We're really looking for a rock, huh? Oh. Was there someone else to question? Maybe... Oh, that's outside. I guess I have to go up this way. Oh, hello, Ether Current. Oh, I had to talk to Mogwin first. God damn it. Well, what did you find out, Kupo? Yes, now that you mention it, I do seem to recall leaving my pebble out in the sun to dry. Ahem, the second part of your trial commences. Go, adventure, and retrieve my masterpiece before some art-starved admirer swipes the stone for himself. So now I have to go up there. I mean, I'm still chasing a stupid rock, so it's still just as dumb. These moogles. Oh, this is not the back way. Man, the music up here is beautiful. Reminds me of something out of Dot Hack. I'm gonna build the biggest collection of shiny landlord treasures any Moogle has ever seen, Kupo, and then I'll bask in the envy of everyone in Moghome. Yeah? Well, you won't be using this one. There's his stupid rock. Alright, let's go to these other trials too. I imagine they're also on the summit? They do not seem to be. The others are down here. Can I jump? Ooh, I'm glad I can't. That would have not been good. I can't even jump from up here. Ah. Kind of smack around some dinosaurs. Dead. Oh, there's another one. Ah, it's the bull. Well, that's that. And all we have to do is collect a couple more Cloud's Breath. Ah, there's the last one. Took a bit of looking. Well, that's all the trials. I hope. Alright, let's hope these rascally moogles don't have another chore for us. Do you have it, Kupo? Is my masterpiece safe? Yes, this is my work. Is it not exquisite? I call it Contemplations of Zenith. Thank you, madam. At last I can exchange my art for those delectable Kupo nuts. Chieftain Moglin will hear of this valorous deed. Great. Take the materia, I suppose. Were you able to humble my Javanian devotees? Wonderful. You are as capable as I am captivating, Kupo. Still, my precious perfection does not excuse those louts from pursuing me so mercilessly, their tongues lolling and bellies rumbling. The Javanians and their ilk have much to learn about acceptable acts of admiration. They're going to eat you, dude. Whatever. Alright, last one. Did you have any trouble finding Cloud's Breath? I do need it quite urgently, you know. What do you need it for exactly? Oh yeah, potions. Oh yes, these are perfect, Kupo. Now I have the main ingredient for my palm tonic. Speaking of which, how are you feeling, miss? Should you ever feel your palm losing its bounce, then I'm your Moogle, Kupo. I don't have a palm, but thanks, I guess. Ah, cool, a new shield. You have completed the trials of trustworthiness. Return to Chieftain Moglin and await his judgment. Sure. Let me put this new shield on, though. Well, it's not animated, but it still looks very nice. Anyway. Chieftain. Foxy, if that is what you insist on calling yourself, you have completed the trials of trustworthiness administered by the taskmasters Moghan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. During these grueling tests of character, I closely observed your conduct, as well as that of your companions, and I am decided, Kupo. Gather your friends before me now, so that I need not repeat myself needlessly. You have another chore for me? It does involve aetherites. Ether currents. Have you ever bathed in the waters to the northeast? Of course not, because a gang of burly Hropkins have been attacking any who goes near them, Kupo. If you were kind enough to slay a few, that might scare them away, giving me the time to dip in the waters. Sure. Are these trials over then? My tasks have been little more than household chores. If our hosts elect not to grant their aid after working us like pack chocobos, I shall demand compensation in Kupo nuts out of principle. But I hope it will not come to that. Let us hear the Chieftain's verdict, shall we? Standing here in Mogholm, my thoughts turn inevitably to the legend of good King Mogmog XII and his seat in the heavens. Like most, I thought it no more than a myth, a story for younglings that grew with the telling. But with every passing moment, I become more certain that we have discovered the origin of the tale. Full eager am I to hear what the Chieftain has to say. Yeah, it does seem that he came exactly from this place, or someplace similar up in the sky. What have you been doing, Estinian? How go your trials, Warrior of Light? I myself have been sent on a number of expeditions to chastise the local dragon population. Did not their chieftain wish to avoid inflaming the Javanians? Such contradictions aside, our hosts seem entranced by the height of my leap. They compare me to Mog, a lance-wielding Moogle warrior of Eld who also favored such attacks. 'Twas meant as a compliment, I expect, but I doubt these furry lumps could outleap a caracal lamb, much less a dragoon. Conclude your business here swiftly, Foxy. I like not this place. Estinian is losing his patience. I hope Ysael has been doing better than we have. Or better than Estinian. Ours weren't that bad. What sorcery is this? That my heart should stir at mere fluffiness. Oh, jeez. Foxy, I was... No matter. What is it? Chieftain Moglin has made his decision. Well, let us not keep him waiting, then. She's adorable. Kuplakop, you should come too. We've become such friends, Kupo. My Moogle cousins love to sing and dance as much as I do. Chieftain Moglin has finally made a decision, has he? Well, I suppose I'd better flutter over and see him, then. Indeed you should. As should we all. Never have I seen such determined workers, Kupo. It would have taken us moons to complete all those dreary chores and niggling errands. And have our labors proven the purity of our intentions, Chieftain? Without a doubt. In fact, there was never really all that much doubt to begin with. You were, after all, already friends with a fellow Moogle. But you see, before any meeting with Hraesvelgr could take place, certain preparations needed to be made. And what better way to help you pass the time than by having you perform all the tiresome tasks that no one ever wants to do, Kupo? Uh-oh. Oh dear! The horn! Bring out the horn! Quickly now! We blow on this wondrous instrument whenever we wish to speak with the Great Worm, Kupo. We haven't perhaps been treating it with the care it deserves of late, and I think Moghan may have sat on it, so we needed some time for cleaning and polishing and straightening. No lasting harm done, though. Now, you simply need to head to Zenith, the worm's dwelling to the west, and give the horn a good toot. We are in your debt, Chieftain. Thanks to your noble gift, we shall finally have a chance to plead our case to Hraesvelgr. Very possibly, yes. But I wouldn't get my hopes up too high, Kupo. The old worm isn't terribly fond of, Your concern is appreciated, but I am quite certain that Hraesvelgr will welcome our overtures. He doesn't look so sure. Should we ever arrive at his lair? Come, we've squandered enough time already. Chieftain Moglin, we thank you for your gracious hospitality. Though we must soon take our leave, I pray that we may continue to nurture the shoots of this new-sprung friendship twixt earth and sky. Of course, Kupo. Visit us whenever you wish. Consider Mog home your home amongst the clouds. Well, they're not bad moogles, they're just lazy. I can relate. Thanks for your help, Kupo. I doubt I would ever have found the time for all those rotten chores. Hey, it wasn't my idea. If the chieftain had spent a little less time sitting about and a little more time chieftaining, things wouldn't have never have gotten so messy in the first place. And he was the one who sat on the horn, by the way. But now all the errands are done and the horn is fixed, so all's well that ends well, eh, Kupo? Yeah, sure. Well, I expect you're eager to be on your way. Did I mention your friend was looking for you, Kupo? If not, Alphino is looking for you. I'll be waiting just outside, stretching my wings. Just let me know when you're ready to depart. Well, where's Alphino? Let's go find him. And talk to the others first. It will not be long now, Hraesvelgr. Through our labors, new friendships have blossomed. For this we must give thanks. I cannot wait to tell my kinsmoogles in the 12s all about this place. They'll be beside themselves with envy, Kupo. They had the Elder Seedseer scrubbing and sweeping. The Elder Seedseer. Oh dear. Well, maybe it was humbling for her. I never imagined my duties would include tidying up fallen leaves in a Moogle village beyond the clouds. Maybe it's humbled you, too. I don't see our good friend Justinian anywhere. He must have went on ahead. To the best of my knowledge, we have all that we need for our trip to Zenith, and I believe the Elder Seedseer and her retinue will soon be making the journey back to Redania. It would be remiss of us, I think, not to convey our gratitude to them prior to going our separate ways, shall we? Indeed. Alphino, Foxy, I do humbly thank you for what has been a most enlightening experience. Were it not for your pioneering spirit, the existence of these moogles might never have been revealed to us. 'Tis we who should be thankful, Elder Seedseer. Were it not for your timely diplomacy, they would never have chosen to reveal themselves at all. And 'twas your presence, Kuplokop, that ultimately won us their trust. It must have taken great courage to lead the sanctuary of the 12's Wood, and we are exceedingly glad that you did. It was my pleasure, Kupo. I've made so many new friends and have so many fantastic tales to tell my kinsmoogle back home. And it is to our home that we must now return. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal, my friends. Safe journey, Elder Seedseer. We too must be on our way. Hraesvelgr awaits. Warrior of Light, pray attend closely to your companion Sir Justinian. Beneath that stoical facade, a storm of anguish seethes unseen. Yes, Justinian is in pain. I'm sure the burning need for vengeance against Nidhogg tears at him, while his growing understanding of the truth of the Javanians kind of pushes at odds with it. Not a good position to be in. Also, we had to go out that way for a side quest, which we will. Curse Umbreon. That's a cute name. The closer we come to Hraesvelgr, the higher my spirits rise. But is it I who am elated, or Saint Shiva? We have tarried over long. Let us forge ahead and swiftly as we may, lest Ishgard bear the brunt of the Horde's fury. Enough talk. Let us leave this risible place behind us. Have you said your goodbyes and dabbed away your tears, Kupo? Then we are indeed ready to go. New armor? New armor. As Chieftain Moglin already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Hraesvelgr's attention. I'll come along and show you the way to Zenith. That's the big place where you need to blow the horn. First things first, though, we need to make for Asa. Oh, and watch out for Rampaging Dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing, Kupo. Watch for Rampaging Dragons, indeed. Another side quest? For an ether current. You aren't thinking of heading towards Asa, are you? Best watch yourself if you are. Archaeosaurs stalk the road for an easy meal. If only someone could drive them away, Kupo. Oh, you seem the type for dragon hunting. Why don't you slay 3 of the Archaeosaurs and open up the road back up for Moogle traffic? Once the deed is done, let Mog Monk and Asa know. Well, it is on the way. Jeez, look at all this ground that we have to cover. Speaking of which, where the hell do we need to... Oh, there's the road to Zenith. Alright. Oh, hey, things that need to die. You guys are preventing a Moogle from taking a bath. The most heinous of crimes, honestly. Well, that's all of them. Come on, Ludos. We've got dragons to kill. I get the feeling Hraesvelgr is not going to be very happy to see us. Especially smelling fresh dragon blood. Oh. Yeah, that's right, we have to kill these things. There you go. All of them are dead. Now we do have a couple of side quests to turn in. One of them is where we're going, and the other is all the way back. But we'll take care of them in due time. We have another dragon waiting for us. Oh, there's more. Holy shit, there are more. That takes care of that. Looks like we're getting there. What a beautiful place. Maybe there's even an aetheryte there. I doubt it. Hello, Mog Monk. Is that someone from below? How did you get past the archaeosaurs infesting the road? What? Mogsy asked you to slay them for him? It's just like him to depend on the kindness of strangers. We've barely been able to venture outside of Asa for fear of being attacked. Now, thanks to you, the roads are just a little safer, Kupo. It was the least we could do. How's my gear looking? Ooh, some of it's pretty broken up, so we'll go ahead and get it fixed. There we go. Alphino. The histories make no reference to the existence of these ruins. Curious. Most curious. Never would I have believed that so much land lay hid above the clouds. Giovannia is not as I imagined it. Do you see that sculpture to the south and west of here? I'm all but certain it was carved in the likeness of Saint Shiva. Which statue? Well, maybe we'll see it. There's an ether current, too. Things were a bit bitey for a while there, but I think we've arrived in the place, Kupo. Or arrived in one piece, Kupo. I wonder what has the dragons so awfully snappy. I mean, the bad ones are always bad, but they seem worse than usual. That would be Nidhogg's influence. We are now level 59. No new ability, but still, we're getting up there. New armor. To fit with the one that we had on. It's hard to see in the dark, so we'll look at here. You know, that looks pretty good. I like it. I like it quite a bit. And before we go ahead and speak with our Moogle companion here, I will get the ether current. Maybe. Yes. What do these other armors look like? Oh wow, that's showy. How about this? That's pretty. That's also pretty, in every color. We may have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Hraesvelgr invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads to the lands below to hunt. If you tried blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. Sounds reasonable. Oh look, another ether current. This place is absolutely filled with them. And it looks like this is where we'll be resting. The fates mock us to be the fates mock of us to be so close. And now the very elements conspire to delay our meeting with Hraesvelgr. I must be patient. Who can say when the weather will turn? I have a mind to make camp. This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then we might as well make ourselves comfortable. If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this place is as good as any. And mayhap a brief respite from the hardships of the road will help to clear our minds in readiness for the coming parley. Very well then, I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Kurthus. Clear our minds. 'Tis Master Alphino whose mind needs clearing. The thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Did you see him stroll away as if these ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow him, Foxy, and see that the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have the camp ready by the time you return. Alphino's a little too eager to prove himself. You know, Estinian may not be as bad as I thought, Kupo. Under all those horrid spikes, he actually has a soft spot for his companions. Just a small one, mind. Oh, and don't tell him I told you, alright? Nah, it's okay. I'll keep it quiet. Okay, she's already said that. Master Alphino's artless quest for firewood is like to get him killed. I suggest you follow after the boy and see that no harm comes to him. Where'd you go, Alphino? Well, looks like before we get to anything after Alphino, we have to get through this guy. There's a tree. Well, Alphino wasn't there. Maybe he's over here. It's another tree. Well, he wasn't in either of these places. It's a bit worrying. And he's not back at camp. I see I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Alphino returns with the wood, we can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what looked like stew ingredients, ready for the fire. Oh, I guess he's fine. Few things compare to the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making. Ha! So speaks the great explorer. Till recently, you wouldn't have recognized firewood if it came with kindling and a flint. 'Tis well you instructed me so patiently, then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to your cell with a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of a Charlian dignitary, and, alongside my twin, became the youngest student ever to be accepted into the studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers. How ignorant of mine own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal, and led to the downfall of the Scions. We all of us are guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives never knowing what it is they fight for, never questioning that which they have been taught to believe. 'Twas only upon meeting Hraesvelgr that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for that chance encounter, I would have never vowed to tear down the Holy See and expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance. That the truth has driven me to do terrible things I cannot deny, but I would rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous for perpetuating a needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding to one's convictions in the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge. You are well on your way, Master Alphino. At your age, I was but a fool swinging a spear with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now, I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we are now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragon Song War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I can say for a certainty that it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great worm. If Ishgard's survival rests upon me wielding that power, I will slay Nidhogg myself. Orders or no. Estinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Hraesvelgr of the righteousness of your cause. Doubt not but that I shall, Dragoon. Well, winds willing, we shall have our answers on the morrow. Let us sleep now and face our fate with the rising of the sun. I always really like this cutscene. There's a lot of camaraderie felt between them, even if two of them are at odds. And the following day. Whenever you are ready, Warrior of Light, full eager am I to gaze upon this great worm, and hopefully not kill him. I trust you are well rested, Foxy. Good. If we are to parley with Hraesvelgr, we shall each have need of the full complement of our wits. We must succeed in winning Hraesvelgr to our cause. Lend me your resolve, Saint Shiva. There we go. The campfire was so cozy I must have fallen asleep, Kupo. But do you feel how the winds have shifted? They will have borne Hraesvelgr back to the skies above Zenith, I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot of the shiny horn. So, I'll be heading back now, if that's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It was nice knowing you. He thinks we're about to get eaten. You know, I've faced worse things than dragons before. If it comes to it, well, hopefully it doesn't. This is one of my favorite pieces of music in this expansion. Really in this whole game. And we're going to hear a much nicer version of it soon. There it is. Grab that before anything else. And be ready for a cutscene. One of the better cutscenes in this expansion. So this is the place. It is time, Warrior of Light. Lend me your resolve, Saint Shiva.
Hraesvelgr. By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Hraesvelgr, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth about your past, about Shiva. But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me. I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn!
Who does that sound like? Another dragon we've contended with in the past.
Then the spirit that answered me.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelgr, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
Für eine Kino, losken starry strari dran, lar es nicht schnell. Toham aftan, feskdul foan I strasi, och nis esta ilthon. Sai if in ned, och ratadoska stray ul mornin. Seski man lisna, kasea, tiene ned monikel, eskian, esnes esnes as list. Is lufta, sit stra antu Kish an la. Sith moni ratadoska nis ed, for always in dar. Kal mon thorn in you, ale fei in later, working uskin in. San es shisnishka, stadranamo Snowdoan ki utedama azmornish.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
Mixai eski listahin, non miki shisikin, kua ala aim Sai an usin an thornise. Non wo I alamon I skor esk mig I es. Nes so I an in, do in an, olodram.
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Sale, born I nesh iratatoska kin for erna. Sith is nesh kin an.
Then, the seed lies within us.
Is ros esh idran, oloson inizeg, non nish I espdiedran en, wa ulwa skola es alakin andranken, mondo.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain!
War ulmon alaan as drao. Kaw
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance. An eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
Ice in Draho, ale inia in.
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Ja, lies as an in la tu ole in an hers isu. Unik du set in sori, nosta no lis as dui forfa in. An isi ultran as niseg for, in lai as nesh I an iratatoska. In sith son ishi eskfa ulgar los an. Snosk for an, non an lis I an. Skål ilens an. Skål.
Well, that went considerably less pleasantly than expected. At least we're not dead. But we sure couldn't convince him. What false god is this, Shiva? What manner of phantom have I welcomed into my heart? A glimpse into the true nature of primals. As predicted, Iceheart's faith in the worm was misplaced, which leaves us with but one recourse. You know I have the right of it, Warrior of Light. It seems we have no choice but to kill Nidhogg. Hraesvelgr was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power, the will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. 'Tis but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even unto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truths we have learned serve only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course. So it seems. Well, those pants look better than the others. So what do we do now?
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Eyrie, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word, and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr. But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength. That you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And if the tales are true, the Warrior of Light has bested many an invincible foe. But such speculation is meaningless if we cannot even find the worm. Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
That I should be blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed, everything I thought I was, gone. All gone.
Leave her. Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
And we see in Ysel a story too often repeated, one we just saw with Alphino. Only wanting to do good, only to realize that we've reached too far. What? Oh, she said that already. There's nothing we can do for her now. We have to press on. We've got some more dragons to kill, unfortunately. Come on, Ludos. Alright. Before we continue on, I want to turn in that other quest. It'll take just a quick detour. Margaret, we did the thing. Many thanks, brave adventurer. Finally, I could enjoy a bath without the smell of raw dragon fish assaulting my senses. Say, a dip in the waters might serve to, freshen you up as well, Kupo. Look, it's not my fault I had to go around and beat the shit out of basically every monster in the world. Alright? People ask me to do this shit. Anyway, back on track. It's honestly a shame we have to kill all these dragons. They're only angry for a righteous reason. Gee, I wonder if it's up there. And I didn't mean my chocobo's ass either, I meant up into that stormy cloud. It's a moogle. Yep. Whatever can be taking her so long, Kupo? My replacement should have been here already, but I don't see her anywhere. I'm so hungry. I wager she went home on account of those troublesome Tulahans that are flapping about. If you slay 4 of them, that should secure a safe path, giving my replacement no excuse. Please, my stomach begs you, Kupo. Oh, I suppose we'll do it. Oh wait, they're right here. It's a shame we didn't get this quest a second before. We'd be half done with it. Oh well. Dead. That was easy. Get up. There we go. Thank you. Now that the Tulahans are out of the way, it's only a matter of time before my replacement gets here. I'm about to pass out from hunger, so I think I'll go ahead. What could go wrong, Kupo? Lots of things, as a matter of fact. Oh well, not my problem. Let's talk to Alphino. Estinian, pray tell me I am wrong. Uh-oh.
Is that it?
Hey, I was right.
That would be the Airy. I feel Nidhogg's presence through the eye, his caustic hatred gnawing at my soul. 'Twould seem the death of his consort has put him on guard. Mark how he wards his lair with tempestuous winds.
A similar barrier once barred our entrance to the primal Garuda's domain, until we discovered the means by which it could be penetrated. Mayhap it is time we called upon Master Garland. It will be just like the good old days, no?
It's been a while since we talked to Sid anyway. Wonder what he's been up to. And we can't use any of these, so we'll take the money. If our only remaining recourse is to violence, then we should seek out the swiftest path to victory. With every moment we hesitate, Ishgard's prospects grow bleaker. A force of sufficient power to break through a primal's defenses might conceivably grant us access to the Airy. And I can offer no better solution. Pray consult this engineer friend of yours. Very well, on the condition that you swear not to lure Nidhogg from his lair in our absence. And steal all the glory for myself, you mean? Nay, I am not so selfish as that. Contact me by link pearl when your preparations are complete, and we shall set forth from Ishgard together. I suggest we rendezvous back at St. Renette's Forum, Foxy. From what I gleaned of the Holy Sea's decidedly ambitious airship project, Sid will still be in Ishgard. Indeed. Go, meet with your engineer friend. I shall remain here and keep vigil over the worm. Splitting up for the first time in a while. Don't do anything stupid, Estinian. When last you saw Master Garland, he was advising the Ishgardians on their ailing airship, correct? In that case, he might still be at Camp Cloudtop. Failing that, we could try the airship landing, or mayhap even the Sky Steel Manufactory. But let us not waste time searching aimlessly. Someone in the city is sure to know where to find him. The question is, who? Sir Emmerich would seem the obvious choice, but there's no guaranteeing he'll be able to grant us an audience at short notice. I have it. Count Edmund's youngest son prides himself on knowing all of the Holy Sea's juiciest rumors. Let us return to the manor and see if Lord Emelin is about. Oh, it's been even longer since we've seen him. We're back. Honoro. When it comes to exchanging information of uncertain origin, Lord Emelin is something of a prodigy. So, in other words, gossiping. We were fortunate to find Lord Emelin at home. The tavern keeper's loss is our gain. Ah, the hero returns. How goes the fight, old girl? Well, I trust. In search of a Sid Garland, you say? Then say no more. The taverns are full of talk, and the name of the said silver-haired genius has cropped up more often than most. I hear he's been tasked with getting that monstrous airship the Holy See commissioned to actually fly. It would seem the project has been plagued with mishaps from the first. In any case, Garland Ironworks employees are known to frequent the airship landing, and I'll wager their master does too. The airship landing? Yes, I thought as much. Come, Foxy, we must find Sid and trouble him for his expert opinion. Sounds good to me. If you do find Master Garland at the airship landing, I trust you won't forget who told you where to look. Credit where credit's due and all that. Yeah. Still haven't grown a... Oh, what's the word? A humble bone. That's the word I'm looking for. Even after your brush with death? Oh well. Maybe someday. Let's go to the airship landing. Here we are. Hey, Biggs and Wedge are with him. If Ishgard comes under attack, we'll have to get out of the city pretty sharpish. Don't much like the idea of leaving a job half-finished, though. What's that? There are dragons coming. Sorry, can't talk now. Have to finish this job and get out of here. Oh, no you don't. Foxy, Alphino. How fare you both? Not terribly well, judging by your faces. Greetings, Master Garland. I'm sure it will come as little surprise when I tell you that we need a favor. Another wind barrier, and you say it was conjured by Nidhogg. The Enterprise could certainly take you where you need to go, but she would not fare well against dragons. She's an agile ship for her size, but not that agile. The Javanians would fly rings around her. And if they took it into their heads to incinerate the rigging, there would be precious little we could do to avoid them. But there must be something we could do, some manner of weapon we could employ. Estinian stands vigil at the edge of the churning mist, but we do not know how much longer... Alright. I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was impossible for the Enterprise. We need a smaller boat. Biggs, Wedge! It's time to give that new toy of yours a proper field test. It's probably best if I let the lads show you. Come on, the manufactory's not far. A new toy and a smaller vessel. Interesting. Well, to the Sky Steel Manufactory then. Ah, here we are. Ah yes, the Sky Steel Manufactory. As I recall, this workshop is primarily devoted to the construction of dragon-slaying weapons. The Ishgardians have granted us the use of a small corner of their workshop, all part of the agreement. I think you'll see we've made the most of the space. They all want to build bigger, but we know where the future is headed. Our little project's just inside. Oh, you're going to like this one.
Your eyes upon our latest and greatest feat of engineering. We call it a mana cutter.
After you put down Gaius, Wedge and me struck out on our own for a bit and started work on the successor to the tiny Bronco.
Impressive little thing, isn't she? My talent for ship design has plainly rubbed off on them. They've adapted the principles of corrupted crystal technology and constructed a mechanism which converts ether from its surroundings into elemental wind. Said wind is then harnessed by the specially engineered sails, providing the craft with propulsion and lift. All in all, a most elegant solution. I'm actually a little upset that I didn't think of it myself.
The design does, however, come with one small flaw.
The energy conversion ratio's bloody awful. To generate enough power to get you off the ground, you need to be in an area awash with predominantly wind-aspected ether.
In other words, there are a few places you can fly, lots of places you can't.
The new Ishgardian airship hasn't left the boys much time for tinkering, meaning it may be a while before this particular project takes off. If you'll forgive the pun.
Tataru, what's happened?
I've been looking all over for you. There's been word from Ulda. It's about Her Grace the Sultana.
It seems you're required elsewhere. Leave the Mana Cutter with us. We'll see that she's airworthy and suitably equipped to slice through those winds. You, meanwhile, should concentrate on providing Raoban and the Sultana whatever help they need.
Yes, if you remember, we've received word that the Sultana is very much not dead. Let's go see what this is all about. I'm as intrigued as you, Foxy. Shall we hear what news Tataru has brought us? Indeed. General Raoban says they may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts, and he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation. Come, Foxy. Pressing though Ishgard's plight may be, our presence here will not serve to hasten the Mana Cutter's completion. Let us return to the troubled lands of Thanalan and lend what aid we may. Tataru, have our friends at the congregation send a message to Estinian. Tell him we identified a solution to our problem, but that it will take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alphino. To the Waking Sands, Warrior of Light. 'Tis past time Ulda was delivered from this darkness. Indeed. Maybe that'll help clear our names. I can't exactly say I missed Ulda. I mean, it is where our journey started, but let's be honest, the treachery of the Crystal Braves has kind of soured things. Well, you're looking way better.
Thank you for coming.
No thanks are necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
I gather you have made progress in the search for Her Grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Dulala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
It lends some weight to Dulala's claims, aye. Her Grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady-in-waiting, Marion. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, Warrior of Light? Will you lend me yours?
It's time to get back at the
Then I pity the
monetarists.
bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friend. For Nanamo, and for Uldar!
For fuck's sake, Roban, put your sword on your other hip. It'll be way easier for you to draw with one arm. If one had chosen to entrap the Sultana in a death-like sleep rather than slay her, then one would surely know of a means to rouse her from said state. There must be an antidote to this poison. I mean, we could also just let time run its course. Our target is Mariel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting, a woman of Midlander heritage. I am told the two of you have met. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market's residents and confirm that Mariel is still in hiding here. Good idea. Let's go and pay her a visit. Have you seen this lady? Mariel? Aye, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's the one closest to the market entrance. Good to know. Have you seen her? And what brings you to our lonely little hamlet? I believe the arrival of your entourage just about doubled our population. Looking for Mariel, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to Uldar, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with city life. Off now. I have met the Sultana's handmaiden on numerous occasions, but I cannot for the life of me bring her features to mind. It's okay, I remember what she looks like. Oh, there's Pippin. Dulala's even here. I suppose it was too much to ask that we stumble upon her buying fruit in the market square. Indeed. Let us all gather the players together. This has gone on long enough. Roban. Gods damn it, where is she? I'll tear this place apart if I must. Calm down, dude. Easy now, General. We don't want her bolting down some other hole. Yes, we must be patient. What about you, Gary? It's been a while since we've seen you. Our target is Mariel. Oh, I already read that. Do I know of any returning residents? Gods, don't tell me they're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear of this. What? Why not? Alright, so her house is the one closest to the market entrance. Oh. Would you look at that?
You are Mariel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me. General Alden!
We will have the truth from you, girl.
Oh, look who it is.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Lolorito, you'd best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn, a new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim. 'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Mariel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend Ilberd was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
You conniving little worm! You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve!
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ilberd was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution.
So it wasn't even Teleji's coin they were on. It was Lolorito's the whole time.
Ah, Ilberd. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed. Alas, Ilberd's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but he would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended. Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive, and preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
The hells we will! Do you honestly expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial?
I mean, who's sad about it? Honestly.
Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law. If you would, Lord Lolorito?
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find Her Grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Rauban Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Uldar shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
Naturally, we all have mixed feelings about what just occurred. But, at least, Nanamo is alive and will be waking soon. You had killed the one you served. Ah, pray excuse my mutterings. I was reminded of a line from an old poem. By the 12, I feared Lord Lolorito's arrival would have heralded another bloodbath. Little did I suspect that he, of all people, would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. You were right to worry. I could see the murder in Rauban's eyes. And who could blame him? Shall we also make our way to Uldar? I should imagine Bartholomew has been instructed to admit us. Yeah, he better have some fucking apologies ready. As should all of those guards. Hi, Genlins. It's been a while. Not really. We saw you in the Paladin quest, but it's been a while since we saw you here. It would appear that the Syndicate has moved swiftly to clear our names. Bartholomew, for one, does not seem remotely surprised by our presence here. Good. I hope Lord Lolorito's potion is as effective as he claims. Flame General Rauban mentioned you might be coming. Please, this way if you will. Not a word of apology.
living the longest dream.
'Tis time to wake up, Your Grace. Another day begins in Thanalan, and the sun blazes bright upon the sands. Her Grace is awoken. The palace physician assures me she's none the worse for her slumber. I believe Her Grace will soon resume her plans to place the government of Uldar into the hands of its citizens. Whatever path she chooses to take, I shall walk it with her. And we shall tread slowly, lest the nation be unsettled in our wake.
Her Grace's compassion is a shining beacon to us all. But what our city truly thrives upon is competition. 'Tis in the struggle against our rivals that opportunities are seized and fortunes made. And with the Empire on the offensive once more, now would hardly seem the time to turn our system of government upon its head.
Are you privy to new intelligence, my lord?
I would hardly call it new. Remind me, what was the name of that enormous Imperial warship which met its end in Mordona? Oh, wait, I have it. The Agrias. Yes, well, 'twould appear that the Garleans have been hard at work on another such vessel.
How close are they to completing this ship? Is it operational?
Its maiden flight was a success, I hear. I should imagine Emperor Varys is eager to see how it performs in battle. My lords and ladies, I move that it is time to repair the damage caused by Teleji Adeleji and prepare our great nation to repel the Empire once more.
Of course, the Empire couldn't rightfully let us forget about them.
'Tis well that the Sultana has awoken. The Syndicate yet needs to put its house in order, but 'twould seem the worst of the confusion has passed. Uldar has taken control of its future, and I must do the same. I have decided to disband the Crystal Braves.
Good idea.
Among the recruits, there were those who supported our Order's goals and convictions with all sincerity. 'Tis my hope that these loyal men and women will choose to remain our allies in the battles to come. As for those who sided with the traitor, Ilberd, they shall be hunted down and held to account for their crimes. It is my earnest hope that they will surrender themselves peaceably when the time comes, though I think it unlikely. Ah, my all-conquering Crystal Braves. The model army meant to pave the way for a single, unified Grand Company of Eorzea. That so high an ideal should be brought so low. I need not tell you how deeply the betrayal stung me. Yet I see now that it was mine own naivety and pride which allowed the Braves to fall prey to corruption. As ever, it is to your own shining example that I turn for inspiration. Like you, I mean to stand firm in the face of hardship and give mine all for the cause. Let us resume the search for our missing comrades. that we might come together to shine the light of dawn across the realm once more. The role of Crystal Brave Commander suited me ill, and I shall play it no longer. Henceforth, I shall be no more or less than Alphino, proud member of the Scions.
I think that is for the best. I blush to speak thus of mine inner turmoil, but the fact remains, there is no woman alive in whom I would rather confide. Were it not for your shining example, I might never have emerged from beneath the pall of my despair. It's alright, Alphino. You're good people, even if you did falter. Still no word from Master Garland. I hope this mana cutter of theirs is nearing completion. I am assured that her grace will make a full recovery. I, and Ul'dah too, shall flourish once more. General Rauban and his colleagues have matters well in hand, I believe. Lady Ugiri, a question if I may. I believe your people have been keeping a close watch on the Crystal Braves. Might you know how things stand at the Rising Stones? Ah, yes, of course. You will be pleased to know that the 3rd Unit Braves abandoned Revenant's Toll when they learned of Captain Ilbert's defeat. The only blue uniforms to be seen there now are those worn by soldiers loyal to you, Master Alphino. To me? I see. I'm grateful to hear that at least some of our members were true to their oaths. Ere we return to Ishgard, I must go to the Rising Stones and thank these stalwarts for their service. It shall be my final act as Crystal Brave Commander. Will you join me, Foxy? You were there at the company's inception. 'Tis only fitting that you be present at its end. And I would appreciate the support. Yeah, I'd like to have a word with some of these people myself. Ah, Revenant's Toll. Look at those blue fucks. I see they've taken off their uniforms. That's good. Commander, you're alive. And Foxy too. I knew you'd scrape through. My splendid Crystal Braves, I have wronged you, all of you. My promises of glory and salvation have brought you naught but blood and betrayal. Ah, you'll not hear us complaining. 'Twas a sight messier than expected, aye, but we was still fighting for the freedom of all, just like we swore. Ain't that right, mates? Aye. You humble me. I am truly blessed to have such steadfast comrades. It is with the most profound regret, then, that I must... That's enough of that, Commander. We know that what you have a mind to say, and we ain't having none of it. We talked it over, see, and we all agreed. You can take our uniforms and strip us of our ranks, but we won't be no less of a company. But the Crystal Braves... The Crystal Braves may be finished, but the ideals upon which the company was founded live on. They bind us to each other and to you. Commander, Alphino, our mind is made up, so you may as well get used to it. Let us help the Scions. Let us help you find Minfilia and the others. My friends, after all that's happened, I know not what to say. Those few loyal souls, they shine greater than the darkness of betrayal. I don't know if you know, but during that goddamn feast, Flahamine got ambushed by some 3rd Unit curs over in Limsa. I'm told she danced free of their noose, though. Ain't heard nothing since, but my guess is she's lying low somewhere in the port. We'll find the missing scions, I promise you. Between us and the immortal flames, no stone in Eorzea will be left unturned. Pray excuse me, I had thought my tears spent. My grandfather used to say that one could measure a man by the constancy of his comrades. Mayhap I am the exception which proves the rule. Nay, do not protest. I know that I am not worthy of their loyalty, Foxy. Oh, shush, you are. But as Thaliak is my witness, I shall do everything in my power to earn it. I must speak of future plans with the remaining Braves. Any information we uncover on the missing scions will need to be shared with our allies across the realm, specifically Urianger in the Waking Sands and Tataru in Ishgard. While we are organizing our various channels of communication, I would ask that you call upon Master Garland at the manufactory. I will join you in Ishgard as soon as I am able. Well, that sounds like a fine idea. But it seems for this episode, our time is up. We've covered a lot of ground in this episode. We've learned the truth of the Dragon Song War, we've found out that Nanamo is now awake, and now the remaining Crystal Braves are helping us find the remaining Scions. So, until the next episode, my name is Foxy Games, and I'll see you next time. Bye!